Welcome to a world where wealth isn't just measured in billions, it's in trillions. Singapore, the gleaming metropolis of Southeast Asia, isn't just known for its futuristic skyline, luxurious lifestyle, and cutting-edge technology. Behind the towering buildings and endless financial power, there's an exclusive club of ultra-rich families who silently control the nation's economy. While they don't always make headlines, their influence is everywhere, from the government to real estate, banking, and even the media you consume. But who are these families? How did they amass such unimaginable wealth? And more importantly, how much of Singapore do they really own? Stick around, because what you're about to discover will change the way you see this tiny yet powerful nation forever. The Lee family, the architects of modern Singapore. When you think of Singapore, one name inevitably comes up: Lee Kuan Yew. The founding father of the nation didn't just build a country from scratch. His family is now one of the most powerful dynasties in Asia. The Lee family's wealth and influence stretch across nearly every sector of Singapore's economy. Through the government, state-owned enterprises, and private investments, they hold massive stakes in banking, infrastructure, and real estate. At the center of it all is Lee Hsien Loong, the current prime minister and eldest son of Lee Kuan Yew. While his official salary is already one of the highest for a world leader, over $1.6 million per year, that's just a fraction of what the family controls. Temasek Holdings, a government-linked investment company with a staggering $500+ billion portfolio, has deep connections to the Lee family. This entity owns major stakes in DBS Bank, Singtel, Singapore Airlines, and even global tech giants like Alibaba. And let's not forget GIC, another sovereign wealth fund managing over $800 billion in assets. The question is, if a family is so deeply tied to the institutions controlling Singapore's economy, do they, in some way, own the country itself? The Ng family, the real estate kings of Singapore. If you've ever walked through the streets of Singapore and marveled at its breathtaking skyscrapers, chances are they were built by the Ng family. The family behind Far East Organization, one of Singapore's largest property developers, controls a staggering amount of real estate across the island. From shopping malls to luxury condominiums, hotels, and office spaces, they have played a crucial role in shaping Singapore's skyline. Led by Ng Teng Fong before his passing, and now run by his sons Philip Ng and Robert Ng, the family's empire is worth over $15 billion. But that's only what's publicly known. Through their Hong Kong arm, Sino Group, they own even more properties and assets, making them one of the wealthiest real estate families in the world. Some even speculate that their net worth could be much higher when you account for hidden investments. But here's a crazy thought. If real estate is power, and they own a massive chunk of Singapore's land, doesn't that mean they control how the city evolves? The Kwek family, banking and hotels monopoly. You can't talk about Singapore's economic elite without mentioning the Kwek family. They are the force behind Hong Leong Group, one of the most dominant financial and real estate empires in Asia. This family dynasty spans over 3 generations and has an estimated net worth exceeding $20 billion. But if you factor in their massive influence over banking and hospitality, their true power might be even greater. At the heart of their empire is City Developments Limited, one of the largest property developers in Singapore. They also own Grand Copthorne Hotels, Millennium Hotels and Resorts, and have a strong foothold in the finance sector through Hong Leong Finance, one of the country's biggest financial institutions. With hundreds of luxury hotels and properties across Asia, Europe, and the US, the Kwek family isn't just a local powerhouse, they are global tycoons. Now here's something to think about. If a single family has such control over where people live, work, and stay when they visit Singapore, doesn't that give them an insane level of influence over how the city operates? The Koo family. The Koo family's name isn't as well known as some others, but their wealth and influence are undeniable. They were the original owners of OCBC Bank, one of Singapore's biggest and oldest banks. This bank, founded in 1932, is still a key player in Singapore's financial sector, with assets exceeding $400 billion. One of the Koo family's most legendary assets was the Raffles Hotel, Singapore's most famous and historic luxury hotel. For years, the hotel symbolized the family's status as one of the nation's financial titans. However, in the early 2000s, they sold Raffles Hotel for nearly $1 billion, shifting their wealth focus to banking and investments. Today, while their name is not as visible, their fortune continues to grow through banking, real estate, and private equity investments. Now, imagine this. If a family can own both one of the biggest banks and one of the most iconic pieces of real estate in the country, how much more hidden power do they have behind the scenes? The Tsai family, the secretive billionaires from Taiwan. This is where things get even more interesting. The Tsai family, originally from Taiwan, is one of the biggest foreign players in Singapore's wealth scene. They own Cathay Financial Holdings, one of Asia's most powerful banking and insurance firms. Through their vast investments in Singapore, they've become a silent financial force that plays a key role in the country's economy. The Tsai family's estimated net worth is around $10 billion, but some believe their total assets could be much higher due to private investments. They are particularly known for their strategic approach, buying up stakes in financial institutions, real estate, and insurance companies. Unlike other families who dominate headlines, the Tsai family operates in the shadows, making moves that only financial insiders truly understand. But here's the real question. If foreign billionaire families are deeply invested in Singapore's banking system, could they hold some level of control over the nation's financial stability? The Wee family, Singapore's hidden banking empire. The Wee family might not be as globally recognized as some of the others on this list, but in Singapore's financial world, they are royalty. They control United Overseas Bank, UOB, one of the largest banks in Southeast Asia, with assets exceeding $500 billion. Founded in 1935 by Wee Keng Chinang, the bank has been passed down through generations, with Wee Cho Yaw turning it into the powerhouse it is today. Unlike many billionaire families who diversify into real estate and hospitality, the Wee family has remained laser-focused on banking and finance. UOB is a dominant force not only in Singapore but across Asia, with a massive footprint in Thailand, Malaysia, China, and Indonesia. On top of that, they also own United Overseas Insurance and UOB Asset Management, giving them significant influence over investments and insurance markets. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While the bank operates as a private entity, its decisions affect millions of people. If a single family controls one of the country's largest financial institutions, doesn't that give them immense power over Singapore's economy and ultimately its future? The Tang family, Singapore's retail and shopping mall titans. If you've ever shopped in Singapore, you've likely been inside a property owned by the Tang family. They are the force behind CK Tang, a massive retail empire that has been around since the early 20th century. Starting as a small store selling traditional Chinese goods, the family grew their business into one of Singapore's largest shopping and retail brands. One of their most iconic achievements is Tang's Plaza, one of Singapore's most famous shopping destinations, located along Orchard Road. But their influence doesn't stop there. The Tang family owns major retail properties, shopping malls, and high-end department stores across Singapore and Southeast Asia. They also have a strong presence in real estate development, using their wealth to acquire and develop valuable properties in prime locations. The crazy part? The Tang family's total wealth isn't even publicly disclosed. With generational wealth being reinvested into property and business expansion, their true financial power could be much higher than estimated. If they control where people shop, spend, and invest their money, does that mean they indirectly influence Singapore's consumer economy? The Kua family, the pharmaceutical and healthcare giants. Healthcare is big business, and few families in Singapore have capitalized on it as successfully as the Kua family. They own Haw Corporation, best known for Tiger Balm, the world-famous pain relief brand. While Tiger Balm alone is worth billions, the Kua family's empire extends far beyond just one product. Through strategic investments, the Kua family has expanded into pharmaceuticals, healthcare technology, and even financial services. They own significant stakes in UOB Bank, which ties them to the Wee family, along with investments in hospitals, medical research, and biotechnology companies. Their pharmaceutical business generates billions annually, as demand for healthcare and wellness products continues to skyrocket in Singapore and across Asia. But here's where things get even deeper. Singapore has one of the most advanced healthcare systems in the world, and the Kua family plays a crucial role in that space. If a single family has significant control over the country's medical industry, does that mean they influence healthcare policies and decisions behind the scenes? The Lim family, Singapore's shipping and casino powerhouse. Singapore's status as a global financial hub wouldn't be possible without its ports and tourism industry, and the Lim family has their hands in both. They control Genting Singapore, the company behind Resorts World Sentosa, which includes a world-class casino, luxury hotels, and Universal Studios Singapore. This alone generates billions of dollars annually, making them one of the richest families in Southeast Asia. But the Lims aren't just about entertainment. They also dominate shipping and logistics. Through Lim and Tan Securities and Genting Group's maritime investments, they play a huge role in Singapore's port and trade economy. Given that Singapore is one of the world's busiest shipping hubs, their influence on global trade is undeniable. Now here's a wild thought. If a family controls both the ports, which dictate trade and imports, and the casinos, which attract foreign wealth and high rollers, they don't just own businesses, they control the flow of money itself. Could the Lim family be among the most powerful, yet least talked about, players in Singapore's elite circles? How much power is too much? It's mind-blowing to think that a city-state as small as Singapore is effectively run by a handful of ultra-rich families. From banking and real estate to healthcare, shipping, and even entertainment, these families own the businesses, control the economy, and influence major policies. Their power goes beyond what's written on paper. It's woven into the very fabric of Singapore's society. But this raises a big question. Does this level of concentrated wealth and influence make Singapore stronger, or does it create an invisible power structure that the public will never fully understand? Are these families truly working for the nation's benefit, or are they simply protecting their own generational wealth? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden trillionaire families of Singapore, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more insane content like this.